Hey everybody, it's Sai, and welcome to another weekly Crafting with Sai on behalf of Unravel and Unwind. Thank you very much for joining us, and if you're our patrons, thank you so much for your supports. Today, as you can see, we are up close and personal, and we are going to be looking at the new, well, it's not new, it's new to me, craft of Nalbinding. This is how you spell it. The A has a little circle over it, and I believe it is the word might be Norwegian. Not sure. But anyway, it's from up north. It is considered to be a Viking craft and predates knitting by quite a large margin. Instead of knitting needles, we use a single needle, and that needle is made of well, it can be made of whatever these days. You can buy plastic ones if you want, you can buy whatever, but this one is made out of bone, and it just has a hole drilled in it for the wool. And that word is very important, wool, because you've got to use wool for reasons that I will explain to you in a bit. um, so there are many different stitches of Nalbinding. And what you're looking at right now, including my little ink spillage from earlier, is the York stitch. And the reason they call this the York stitch is because it was found, samples of this work were found in York. And that's how the various Nalbinding stitches have been sort of rediscovered and redocumented, as all according to where they're from. So you've got Finnish stitches, you've got the Oslo stitch, all different ones basically, but for now and for the purposes of this video, I am doing the York stitch. Now, the reason I chose the York stitch was because I'm going to make a couple of things. This is not one of the things. I'm going to make a couple of things for my friends, one of which is a Viking reconstructionist, and I'm going to now bind them some gifts. And because they are from York, I am going to use the York stitch just because that's appropriate. So I'm thinking of, learning some more stitches and stuff like that. Now, credit where credit is due. This is not my thing. I was taught this um, over YouTube. I accessed a channel called Ylva the Red. That's YLVA the Red, and she is as well a reconstructionist, and she is the one whose tutorials I started with. There are lots of Nalbinding tutorials on YouTube. There's also some books out there. Um, why Nalbinding, I suppose, is a good question, and I would say, for me personally, it's more like, why not Nalbinding? Um, I'm just one of those people. I like to try all the things. So, yeah, sure, if you already know how to crochet a hat, you're gonna crochet and you're gonna get a hat. It's just not gonna look like this. Similarly, if you know how to knit, you can knit a hat, but it's not gonna look like this. Uh, that's really simplistic, but that's basically why I'm doing it. It is a different way to do what I normally do. So let's get started. I'm not going to show you how to start or anything like that, but basically what you do need to do is get a length of wool that's, easy to work with to start with. Maybe just an arm's length, maybe a little bit more, and you thread that onto your needle, and you start out. And please go and see Ilva the Red because her tutorial is very clear and very easy. And I don't want to just regurgitate what she says because she needs your views. So go and see Ilva the Red. However, just to give you a taste of what Nalbinding is like, to decide whether you want to try it or not, I'm going to show you a couple of York stitches. So, right. Now the fabric is basically just made up of these little rings. And this is the sort of working side as it's being made. This is the last stitch I made is just a loop here, and I'll show you how the York stitch is made. So I've got my wool threaded on my Nalbinding needle, and sorry, my nails are so disgusting. I was digging around in an old box to get this yarn out, and well, it was dirty in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my needle into the first of these little loops, and I'm going to put it into the one of the ones that I used the last time as well. So the first loop that's open and the one behind it. Okay, I'll pull that through a little bit. The working yarn is now kind of hanging over down here in a loop. A lot of people will hold it up here, and I will show you for why. Most people, the way they do it, I do it differently. Most people will pull this then into a slightly smaller ring, but not quite the finished closed size ring yet, right? And then you put it through two, back through two that you already made before, like that. And then you just tighten that up just so that it comes down in line with all these other stitches. You eyeball it. So already, if you are a perfectionist, this may not be for you, because it is all about, you know, estimated tension. So you just continue doing that. This is how I do it. Now that I've shown you how other people do it, I do it with the loop down here at the bottom. So keep an eye on this thread here. Okay. I go into this one, into the next one back, and then it doesn't matter if you've pulled it all the way or not. I go back down through this hole like that, and then I pull it. Yeah. And I'm just keeping an eye here, checking that I'm not doing anything too crazy with the tension. Yeah. And you just keep doing this. What I'm going to do now, there you go, back through there. I am, whoops, what have I done here now? Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine. No worries. Okay. Did I just do that wrong? I have no idea what I just did. Okay, but anyway, you just go through two, back through two, tighten it up. And that's all a Nalbinding York stitch is. There are ways to increase and decrease, which is why I've got this sort of hat-sized thing on me right now. But let's talk about the lengths of yarn. Now, after a while, you're going to end up with not much sticking out the other side of your eye, right? And once you've got it, pretty short, what you need to do is move your needle out of the way like this, and you're kind of left with this little end. And this is why it needs to be wool. It's because we are going to fan this stuff out ever so slightly. So it kind of looks like that. There's just little bits, basically. And then we're going to take a length of the other yarn, same yarn, obviously, just, some more. And don't cut it, break it, because it'll make it easier to connect. So this is the end of the ball wool. I've just I've just broken some off. Now, the cool thing about this is that I'm actually connecting ends that have been connected before, because I broke this last time, and this is where I broke it. So, the cycle of life continues. And if you got yourself a variegated ball of yarn like I do, then obviously that's going to make a nice join. So you get your frayed edge in your hand. You put a little water in. That's water, by the way. And then you kind of bunch this all up however you like. And then you rub your hands together. And you do this quite a lot. And what happens is you end up felting the yarn together. I'm just rubbing my hands together. I'm just twisting it and rubbing it back and forth in my hands off of the camera, because we're very, very close up today. Now in the summer that would already be dry. So there we go. I have twisted the new length onto the end. And then all you do is slide this back through, and you've got a new length joined on, and the join has successfully gone through the eye of the needle, which is the worst part. And you can continue your work. So, I'll show you what I've been using. This yarn it's called Malabrigo. It's double knit, but it is, I would say it's like a roving yarn, because it's only got the one ply and it's not very twisted. This is ideal for this craft. If you have a twisted ball of yarn, you can still use it, but it does help. Just you've got to untwist it basically at the ends to reattach it. This has no such problem, and because it's handmade in I think it's Peru or something. So you're supporting a smaller local economy as well if you buy this Malabrigo. And if you're lucky, you can find some Malabrigo at some fairly good prices at Rainbow Valley Crafts. So check that out. The links will be in the description. Malabrigo, I really, really recommend Malabrigo for this. Also, they do tell you not to go too small with the yarn. I think DK is about as small as you're going to want to go, because the loops would get so tiny. And also, I think a thinner fiber would be harder to felt together quickly. So don't go smaller than double knit. And really, I think that's the only thing I would recommend, is just not to go any smaller than double knit. You can get the needles. You can use, a traditional Nalbinding needle, and I got mine on Etsy, but they do sell them on Amazon. They also, some local shops may have them. I don't know. It's still, at the moment, it's quite niche. I don't know where you're going to find Nalbinding stuff, but I did buy this one on Etsy because I wanted a proper bone one. I don't know if it would work too well, but if you're desperate, I suppose you could try drilling a little hole into a lolly stick or something, and maybe using that, just if you want to try it with household items before you go out and buy your own Nalbinding needle. So, it's less of a tutorial today, more of a demonstration and a referral. Just check out Ilva the Red and just look up Nalbinding on YouTube or Pinterest or at your craft bookstore, wherever, and see if it's something you like. And if it is, please get back to me. Show me what you're doing. I've got to get on and make my Christmas gifts now, so that's probably all I've got for you this week. Thank you for joining me. I've been Cy for Unravel and Unwind, Crafting with Cy, and I'll see you again next week.